So we finish our breakfast, which was absolutely wonderful. I look at the waterfalls to say my goodbyes, and we pile into the car, and Job and the gentleman who's taking us are in the front talking, and I'm in the back, just still kind of reeling and taking in the green and saying my goodbyes and taking in the vision, because for every tribe or every family grouping, there are 5 or 6 homes grouped together, and that consists of a tribe. And they're tribes up and down the main roads, all the way from Calendula to Bakula. And so I'm looking and taking in the fact that all of these tribes are right there living in harmony with this and in balance with this land. And wondering what their traditions are like, and wondering how they interact with each other, wondering how do they survive off of the land. Because I'm not seeing a huge cultivation of agriculture or anything. So things are going through my mind as we're driving through. And we get to Bakula, and we hadn't figured out how to get the main Macon big bus that we had taken out there back. It's like, okay, this will be interesting. And Job finds out that there are buses, small ones, and vans that go there all the time. We have to figure out what area to wait in, and some will just stop by. So we don't walk down the main road, and we finally get to a place where people say, yeah, a bus comes by here, I don't know, every hour or so, and yeah, you can get back to Luanda. And I'm like, okay, it's getting to be about 2, 3 in the afternoon, and this is a 5, 6 hour trip. Is this thing going to come soon? And, again, that's the New Yorker in me always coming out, and it's like, calm down. It is what it is. There's no rush to anything. Where am I rushing to? It's unbelievable that nature is so embedded. And so I take a deep breath and just hang out and wait, and, it's not going to move any faster than it moves. And finally there's a bus. And this bus has people sitting and standing in it, and it's packed. So packed that when they open the double doors to allow you in, people are standing in the doorway. And a handful of people get off, and we start getting on, and it's like, are you going to Luanda? Yes. Are all these people going to Luanda? Yes. Are they going to be let off? No. They're standing 5, 6 hours all the way to Luanda like this, packed like sardines. I'm not doing it. Enolia, get off. But I just want to get home. Nope, get off. Get off the bus. We're not taking this. Okay, and the New Yorker in me wanted to argue with him, like, please, please, I just want to go. And he's like, no, get off. And in the instant that we're getting off, some guy signals to him and says, Luanda? And he goes, yes, Luanda. And he goes, okay, come. And he goes, no, 2. And he's like, looks in the van and goes, okay, 2, got 2, come on. And he's like, yeah, I got 1, come on, let's go. And it's a van, it holds about 12, 13, 14 people. And we hand off our backpacks, and they put it in, and we're climbing hand over feet over people, and I sit down, get settled, and there's one seat opposite Job. Job's on one side of the van, I'm on the other. And we're sitting in between people, and I look around and I notice I'm the only woman. And it's like, okay, this is going to be interesting. And I don't say anything for a while. And then one of the guys breaks out beers, and I'm like, okay, this is really going to be interesting. So Job looks at the beer and goes, no thank you, thanks, but no thanks. And starts talking to the guy in Portuguese, and I assume that they're going, where are they from, who are you? And I hear him say his name, and so introductions are taking place. And then, nobody says anything to me, and then, I just smile, and then that's when it happened. They just look at me like, she's smiling. Why is she smiling? And they look, and then they say something to Job, and he goes, yeah, she's from the U.S. They said said to Job, she had to be from somewhere else because an Angola woman would have been looking mean, and she was smiling. And when Job explained that to me, I go, well, why would he say something like that? He goes, well, why would you say something like that? And then something's explained to Job, and Job goes to me, well, because a typical Angola woman would not have been happy that she's the only woman, and she would have just kept her head down, and she would have never looked at anybody, and she would have kept to herself because it's nothing but men, and she wouldn't have felt comfortable. And you're smiling, and you're showing that you feel comfortable. And I was like, well, is there a reason that I shouldn't? You know? And I was saying that to Joe, but him being the straightforward person that he is, repeated what I said. And is there a reason I shouldn't? And so they said, no, we could just tell that you're not from here. Where is she from, by the way? And then he says it directly to me, but in Portuguese. And I go, Estados Unidos. And they said, Estados Unidos, oh, we love United States. Oh, yeah, we've always wanted to visit. And so that breaks the ice. And I'm happy and I'm smiling. And so van pulls over. And what we as Americans are so accustomed to is we think that there's a bathroom everywhere. Well, no, that's not the case. So the van has to pull over every time people will need to go to the bathroom. And so it was time for a pee stop. And I'm the only woman and all of these men. And that's another reason why we wear materials around our waists, because we can mask going to the bathroom. No issue, not a big deal. I'm so accustomed to that now, having been on the bus for 12-hour rides, 5-hour rides, 6-hour rides. It's just standard stuff, you know, where others might feel uncomfortable. So we both go our opposite directions, go to the bathroom, come back, all pile back onto the van. But before we pile onto the van, I go, Job, this is an opportunity. He goes, what are you talking about? Because this is an opportunity. You always talk about, you know, we, not he, we always talk about the fact that we can inspire and empower men and have a conversation, and maybe this is a great time. We have a 5-6 hour ride. And he goes, why don't you do that? And I'm like, they're not going to want to listen to me. They're guys, but you could do that. You know, you could lead by example, you know. And he goes, no, you should do that. And I'm like, they're not going to want to talk to me. He goes, okay. And we pile back on the bus or the van. And basically, one guy, and I learned that his name is Situ, is just like animated. He is like the joke teller of all. And he's telling joke after joke. And I'm like sitting there listening, and I don't understand the jokes. So I don't know if they're good jokes or racy jokes or what, but he's just telling jokes. And they're all laughing and everything else. And then I asked Joe, well, what is he saying, you know? And he's like, oh, he's just a comedian. He's just telling joke after joke. And I go, okay, well, you know, ask him, you know, how big is his family? Is he a family guy? And, you know, he asked, do you have a family? And he's like, yes, I have a family. I have, you know, a wife, 2 kids and everything. And then the next one goes, I have a wife, 2 kids. And, you know, so I'm with a bunch of guys who are family guys. And then they go, well, what do you do for a living? Because we're all firefighters and we're going home for the weekend. Oh, okay, nice. You know, we're going home to see our families. And we can go home during the weekend. And I do empowerment. And they go, well, why would a woman that lives outside of here want to do empowerment? Do you do that here? And I go, when I can. Why would a woman outside of here want to do empowerment here for people that they don't know? And my question was, why wouldn't I? And so this initiated a series of questions from this one gentleman, Situ. He must have asked 200 questions. And when I think about some of the things that he asked, what kind of pleasure do you find or do you get from helping women? What motivates you to come here to help strange women? What do you think about Angolan women so far?